and gentlemen of YouTube, Death Knight Paranoid coming at you with another video. Now this is a class tier list. Let's start off with PvE content. So we're going to start with Demon Hunter. Now Demon Hunter has a lot of single target, a decent amount of AoE, but they more shine in the single target. So they are A tier, but they do a lot of single target. Crusader does a lot of AoE and does a lot of single target. They get a high number DPS count, so I am going to give them a high A. Druid for PvE, they do a lot of damage, yes, but it depends on what build you're running for PvE content. They get a decent amount of DPS, but it's not like Crusader or Demon Hunter worthy DPS. So I'm going to give them a B. Monk for PvE, they honestly, I think they are lacking in PvE. They don't get as high numbers as like Wizard or Necromancer. They're more single target too. So I'm going to give them a B below Druid. Tempest is kind of like Demon Hunter. They have a lot of single target, but they don't get as high as numbers as Demon Hunters. I'm going to have to rate them above a Monk. Necromancer has a good balance of AoE, a good balance of single target. They are an S tier. Barbarian, they were strong in PvE there for a while, but now it seems like they don't really break numbers in like dungeons and raids now. So we'll have to rate them just above Monk. Blood Knight has a really good single target build, but their AoE builds are kind of lacking, and plus they're more sweaty. So since they only have a decent single target build, I'm gonna have to rate them around Druid. It doesn't matter where I place them, they're either before or after Druid. I'm gonna just rate them after Druid. And then Wizard is probably the best class in PvE content right now, and they are above Necro. There are so many diverse builds for Wizard. It's not even funny, but I think it's because Blizzard loves the Sorcerer class, Wizard class. They always have in all their games, so Wizard's going to be the strongest. So that's my tier list for classes for PvE content. And now let's go into the PvP. Now for PvP, this changes quite a bit. Hang on, let me type these in real quick. For PvP, Demon Hunters, they're in a decent spot, I think. I think Demon Hunters are in a decent spot depending on what build you're bringing in for PvP. I think Demon Hunters are an A in PvP. Crusaders are in a really good spot. They are S. Crusaders have various builds for PvP, and it seems like it doesn't matter what build you bring for Crusader. You're going to be very strong in PvP content. Druid is also A. They are very tanky. They can output a lot of DPS, and I'm going to rank them a high A. Monk is in a really good spot. They're not as popular as other classes, but whenever there is a Monk I'm going against or that is on my team, they are always doing really good. So I'm going to give them... They're in between S and A, but I'm going to have to give them a low S. Tempest has, I think, honestly fallen off in popularity for PvP content, and their builds they've been stuck on almost the same builds for a while now. I'm going to have to give them either a B or a C, but I'm going to give them a B. Necromancer kind of got gutted, and honestly, Necromancer has really fallen off, so I'm going to have to give them a C. Barbarian, Barbarian is pretty strong right now. They do a lot of damage and they can't die. They are in between S and A, but I'm going to have to give them a high A. Blood Knight. Blood Knight just is very bad right now. There's some decent builds for them, but honestly, Blood Knight is they've been lackluster for a while now, and they just suck. Wizard is again a very high S. They have multiple builds for PvP. Seems like any build you run in for Wizard is very strong. Also, good luck catching a wizard because they are very, very prone to not letting you get them. They output a lot of DPS, especially if you do the meteor build. Like I said, there's different builds for wizard, and it seems like a lot of wizards get a lot of kills, a lot of assists, very few deaths. Wizards are very strong right now in PvP.